excuse me, Islam to me is the most feminist religion.
Oh, this part is my favorite. Islam is the most feminist religion of all time. You know what? I'm not gonna even bother by laws. I'm not gonna even bother with hadith. I'm not gonna even bother you with sunnah. I'm just gonna give you Quranic verses on this. Ready? So as always, the 4th surah, the woman, 15th verse, it says, those who commit unlawful sexual intercourse of your woman, bring against them 4 witnesses from among you. And if they testify, confine the guilty woman to houses until death takes them or Allah ordains for them another way. It's so feminist that if a man and a woman commit adultery, only the woman will be punished. How feminist is that? Next one. The same surah, verse 11, where it says, Allah instructs you in concerning your children for the male what is equal to the share of 2 female. But if there are only daughters, 2 or more, for them is 2/3 of one's estate. The verse goes on longer, but here is all I need. So Islam is so feminist, so woman-loving, that Allah makes sure to tell you how to split your estate between your children. If you have a son, he takes twice as your daughter. If you only have daughters, they still don't get all you got. They get 2/3 of what you have, and the 1/3 will go to jihad and zakat and khums and whatever else of Allah. Like, even having a daughter by itself, Allah doesn't want you to give all your estate to your daughters, just part of it. You see, Allah loves women so much that He took the time to send a verse to make sure they don't get everything. They get part of something. Moving on to the next verse that is so feminist. The same surah, which is my favorite surah, 4th, verse 20th, it says, but if you want to replace one wife with another and you have given one of them a great amount in gift, do not take back from it anything. Would you take it in unjust and commit a sin? Again, fantastically women's rights and feminist. Allah of yours easily says if you want to replace one wife with another, just make sure to give the other wife enough gift and money. A woman is nothing but a property that you just pay them off, then replace them. You know how you replace your underwear? You know how you replace your car? You replace your mattress? If you decide to replace your wife, it's okay. Just make sure to give them money. That's how feminist your so-called religion is. Oh, I'm not done. Wait. So the same surah goes to verse 34th, where it says, men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other. Meaning Allah has given that to man and not the woman. And what they spend for maintenance from their wealth. So again, it goes back to, a man pays for your life, so you're pretty much their slave as a woman. So righteous women are devotedly obedient, guarding in their husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. Their private parts and their dignity and blah, blah, blah. But those wives from who you fear arrogance, first advise them, then if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally, strike them. But if they obey you, once more seek no means against them. Indeed, Allah is ever the best. Allah started the feminism, right? He started this whole movement by saying, hey, if you fear your wife may not obey you, feel free to beat the crap out of her. But if she decides to obey you, then don't beat her again. Well, of course a woman's gonna obey you when she knows you're gonna beat the crap out of her. So you see, as feminist as your religion is, as woman loving as your Allah and your prophet are, you can't beat something into people.
That people talk about Islam without knowing anything about it, and they're willing to completely negate any of my rights as a human being, as a woman, as a person with agency, simply because they have an idea about what my faith is about.
I have said it many times. Oh dear, if you were born in a Western country under the protection of the constitution of a free country, do not come out here and lecture me about Sharia. You don't know what Sharia. You pick and choose your Sharia. You know why? Because at the end of the day, you can hide behind your freedom. But someone like me, who was born and raised in an actual Islamic country, guess what? We know the real Islam. Did you hear the verses I was reading? All the loving, like every single verse is giving so much love, respect, and freedom to women that it makes me want to puke. Unwrap your head and stand there and admit to the fact that you don't know anything about Sharia. You're just pretending to be a Muslim woman because guess what? Right now, it's the heat of the fashion to be the oppressed, poor little Muslim woman in the West who's being constantly oppressed. That's your delusion. That's what the left has created for you. So if you want to be a real fighter, if you really want to be this strong woman who's fighting for equality of women's rights, the first thing you do is get rid of your hijab, tear your Quran, and come out and say, bullshit. Sharia is nothing but oppress and more oppression for women.